Welcome back to Joy Recaps, movie stories recapped here. Today, I'm going to recap an American thriller horror film called The Conjuring. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. As the film begins, we see Ed and Lorraine Warren. In a conference, they share their supernatural and paranormal experiences. Carolyn and Roger Perrin are relocating to a new home with their children in the following scene. Their entire family enters the house, but their terrified dog refuses to enter. Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April are their 5 daughters. April discovers a music box with an adjusted mirror under a large tree. The other girls break a pine wood while playing hide and clap. That pine wood was used to hide a door. Behind it, their father discovers a dark storeroom containing a piano and other antiques. Their agitated dog barks incessantly. Carolyn's foot has numerous wounds the next morning. Their clocks are still set to 3:07, and April discovers their dead dog outside. The next scene takes place in Ed Warren's Ghost Museum, where a press reporter is also present, where Warren informs the reporter that everything in the museum is haunted or has been used in witchcraft. Once a month, these ghosts come here to worship. Ed then tells the story of the Annabelle doll. According to them, this doll has a devilish power that uses it as a source. Following that, the farmhouse is shown, where the clock does not work because it strikes 3:07, and bad things happen at the same time. And while Christine is sleeping in her bed, someone pulls on her foot. She also detects a foul odor. Cindy is a sleepwalker and enters Andrea's room in this state, and mysteriously hits her head with her wardrobe. Carolyn's body has yet another wound spot the next day. When Roger goes outside, he notices a dead pigeon that has fallen from a tree. He is astounded to see it. This occurrence denotes the capture of a devilish power there. April and Carolyn are at home alone. April is seen conversing with another intangible being. April then requests that we play hide and clap. Carolyn enters Andrea's room in search of her. The wardrobe automatically opens there. Someone claps, bringing his hands outside the closet. Carolyn is surprised, but she mostly ignores it. Following that, someone pulls Christine's foot harder while she is sleeping, causing her to panic. She notices someone standing behind the door, threatening to kill her and her entire family. Nancy is also present, but nothing is visible in front of her. However, a foul odor is detected. Christine then informs Roger and the rest of the family. Carolyn is shown with numerous wounds on her body. She then hears children's laughter. As she checks, all of the children are sleeping in their respective rooms. But then something strange happens. All of the photo frames fall and break on their own. Then she hears a girl's voice. She follows her after hearing her. When you get close to the basement, the door automatically opens. When Carolyn tries to escape the basement, the doors close automatically. Carolyn is thrown down the stairs and a ball is thrown to her. Carolyn tries to flee once more, but darkness prevails. Carolyn then blazes the matchstick to make things visible, while a clapping girl on the other side scares her. Carolyn is imprisoned there. Cindy is hitting her head with a cupboard as she enters Andrea's room. When Andrea notices this, she takes Cindy to her bed to sleep. Suddenly, the door to that wardrobe swings open. Andrea opens the wardrobe to inspect it. A female ghost appears on the other side of the wardrobe and attacks her. Roger rushes there after hearing the crying sound of someone nearby. First and foremost, he opens the basement door and extracts Carolyn. Coming out of the basement, both parents go upstairs and gather their children in one location. They are all terrified now. The following scene depicts Ed Warren giving a lecture on supernaturalism at a university. Carolyn is also present as a listener. Carolyn then moves on to Ed Warren and Lorraine Warren, inviting them to her home. Ed and Lorraine ride it to her house. Carolyn and Roger tell the entire story, that the situation is deteriorating. They claim that the house stinks. The door is knocked 3 times during the night and also closed in the morning, and a house bird was discovered dead in their garden. All house clocks have been set to 3:07. Ed responds, these occurrences are evidence of the devil's presence here. They then proceed to the basement, where Lorraine realizes that something is wrong. There had been many bad things happen there. Ed records everything after asking Carolyn about all incidents. Lorraine, on the other hand, investigates April's friend. April hands her the music box on it. Lorraine notices the spirit of a small child Rory in her mirror while playing the music, about whom she had inquired from April. Then they go to that tree where they discovered this music box. Lorraine finally sees the ghost who has been bothering this family. Lorraine then reveals that this house is the home of a huge devil. She had noticed them when she arrived. This is a powerful black devil spirit. She claims to have seen a dark figure behind Carolyn, Roger, and all of the children. The presence of a dark figure of a ghost irritates them. This has stayed with them, and if they leave, it will not stop following them. Ed then informs them that an exorcism will be performed here, and that they must obtain permission from the church. They must first provide evidence to the church before proceeding. Lorraine claims that there are many ghosts, one of which is evil, and when Ed listens to the recording at night, He only hears his own voice. Roger and Carolyn are not recorded. Lorraine also tells Ed about the history of this location. A man had constructed a farmhouse here. He married a woman who believed in black magic. In it, she was also a spellcaster. Bathsheba was her name, and she was about to kill the devil. Bathsheba had sacrificed her 7-day-old child by burning him, and when her husband saw her running outside, she committed suicide by hanging herself from a tree. Many people died as a result of this incident, including a child named Rory. Her mother committed suicide in the house's storeroom, drowning in his grief. Otherwise, a neighbor committed suicide, and a child drowned in a pool nearby. The recorder is playing itself during their conversation. Now Ed's voice can be heard along with the terrifying sound of the ghost. The time now is 3:07 p.m. the following day. Ed and Lorraine go to Roger's house to gather all of the evidence so they can show it to the church. A police officer and a boy named Brad assist them in installing the voice recorder and cameras in the house's surroundings. And Lorraine notices the Carolyn family photo inside and understands this special moment of creation by using her power. And Ed sprinkles holy water in all rooms to irritate any devilish powers that may be present, and its actions may be documented. The basement door suddenly opens, and Ed and Lorraine enter, but when they try to come outside, the door automatically closes. They don't get any evidence because they don't find anything that night. And the next morning, everyone is looking forward to breakfast. Ed tells Carolyn to get some rest. Lorraine and I will handle everything. Lorraine notices standing Bathsheba behind the clothes as she is drying them. Suddenly, that garment flies away and becomes entangled with Carolyn's bedroom window. Lorraine sees the ghost of Bathsheba as the cloth is removed. Bathsheba charms Lorraine before she arrives. The devilish moments have begun, and then there are these heinous evil spirits. Officer Brad initially hears a girl's voice and then sees the maid ghost who was a suicider. It also frightens the officer. Nancy then sleepwalks into Andrea's room, which has a locked door. Cameras capture photos of Nancy sleepwalking. Except for Nancy, it was obvious that there was someone. When Nancy enters the room, she hears a child's voice saying, "Hide yourself." They all rush into that room, but no child or Nancy can be found. Ed searches for her with the torchlight and discovers her in an empty space between two walls. Lorraine is informed by April that when Rory is afraid, he hides himself there. Lorraine rushes over to that location. She examines the children's toys, a musical location, and a rope used by Bathsheba in her suicide. Lorraine falls as a result of a broken piece of wood, and as she enters a storeroom and looks into the music box, she notices the spirit of Rory's mother weeping bitterly. "It asked me to do as such," Rory's mother ghost said as she vanished. Lorraine is terrified as Bathsheba's ghost appears and pulls her necklet as she tries to flee. That necklet has fallen and broken. This was given to her by her daughter Judy, whose photo is displayed in the locket. Lorraine runs outside, telling how these evil spirits compel mothers to take their child's life. She claims that it is now bewitching Carolyn, and that the ghost is the cause of the wound spots on her body. Suddenly, crucifixes fall to the floor, and someone mysteriously pulls Nancy's hair, dragging her to and from. However, they are successful in saving Nancy. They make the decision to leave this house. Ed writes on it that they will represent everything before the church for the house exorcism. Meanwhile, Lorraine hears Judy's voice and discovers her dead body in the pool. She is terrified after seeing it. She is upset for her daughter and tells Ed about it, referring to it as an indication. The next day, Ed and Lorraine tell their father about everything that happened in the house and show him all of the evidence. They also have a photo of Nancy sleepwalking, as well as the spirit of standing Rory. Because they are not Catholics, Father informs them that they will need to seek exorcism permission from another authority. Judy, Ed and Lorraine's daughter, is now visible. Bathsheba's ghost reaches out to her through her locket. It pulls Judy's foot, waking her up. She becomes terrified and goes outside in search of her father and mother. We also know that Annabelle doll has vanished from their ghost museum. Judy is terrified, and Bathsheba is also seen there with the Annabelle doll in her lap. Bathsheba terrorizes and threatens Judy. Ed and Lorraine, on the other hand, arrive just in time to save their daughter's life. Carolyn, on the other hand, is accompanying Christine and April. Roger immediately informs Ed of this. Carolyn says, "I'm going to that house because all these devilish powers force mothers to murder their children through enchantment." Everyone returns to that house. Carolyn is on the verge of killing Christine as they arrive, but they save Christine's life and put her in the car. April flees in terror after witnessing this occurrence. While they try to get Carolyn out of the house, the ghost plans to harm her. Lorraine realizes that if Carolyn goes outside, she will be killed by a ghost. Carolyn is dragged into the storeroom by the devil. They attempt to save Carolyn by entering the storeroom, but the devil uses his power to make her situation worse, so overcoming it was no easy task. On the other hand, a police officer is searching the house for April. Carolyn is uncontrollable, and she goes after everyone one by one. Carolyn is restrained by a chair. Ed decides to perform exorcism after observing her condition. As Ed begins the exorcism, the devil Bathsheba loses control and the devil's powers become stronger. However, Ed continues to perform exorcisms. Now a strange scene is shown in which the devil lifts the chair into the air, halting the exorcism. The chair is broken as a result of the fall. As a result, Carolyn is free, and she tries a new attack on Ed. Thomas discovers April at the same time. Carolyn murders April after discovering her hiding place. Ed completes his exorcism before Carolyn murders herself. Bathsheba agrees to leave after taking Ed's oath. Carolyn is still possessed by the devil. Lorraine and Roger then come to her aid. They give her strength by reminding her of her children and family, so that she can battle this ghost. His family's love for her children is eventually won, and that devilish ghost unwillingly frees Carolyn and leaves. And Carolyn comes to her normal state and all begin to live their lives happily. And April returns Lorraine's locket and Ed places that music box in his museum. Here the movie ends.